So, picking up what Louis just mentioned, that day-to-day life, we pick up so much, and we are engaging with so many things in our life, and we think that we are normal, and we feel normal. But in fact, we are living with those informations and feeling that we are still alive. Actually, our life is, we feel we are alive and we feel that we are okay because of the distractions, that we are distracting ourselves. I was sharing with Gavin recently that after I closed the temple, I spent myself and without having this Facebook and social media, and just reflecting on myself and not seeing anybody, and just the weather, and then just go back to the bed and cold, and there's a temptation of going back to the Facebook, temptations to going back to the mobile phone, like that. A temptation to go and read the book and open the computer and work, like that. Those temptations, and I was just observing them and did not go on to it. And after 2 or 3 days later, when I came out from the cottage, simply because of the snow was just getting up higher and higher, and I even opened the door and the snow just went in, like the front snow was already covering this much. And then I started to cleaning it around the temple, the cottage area. And then I walked around a little bit when it wasn't snowing, and I felt that my mind and my brain was so relaxed. There wasn't any noise and any disturbances. No, I was so calm, and so settled. Then I reflected on that. What about before this moment? Then before this moment, so that moment actually, been engaged with so many things, constantly going on Facebook, writing this, writing that, and stalking of this person, that person, where is he, where is she, what they are doing, and then following this Walk for the Peace monks in America, and a tremendous, wonderful job that they have done, and then we feel, I was feeling, obviously, I'm not sure yours, but oh, life is beautiful, and I am okay, peace, but actually not. But that moment when I was reflecting, that was like, oh, what a wonderful moment. So not disturbed by those informations. And that actually is the key to reflect on, that how much information that we are maybe desire to know, desire to have, and basically baiting with it all the time and thinking that this is a life. This is a life. Obviously, for someone like even Louis, although practiced meditation, find difficult, think about someone who never practiced. How difficult it would be to stay indoor and not having, let's say, not having any devices. Then even, it's like a proper hell, right? But once you have understood and once you have known how to practice meditation, then it really helps much more to stay within. And then it's not easy to change our habit patterns these days because we are caught up with it. And we, as I have said early on, without knowing, we become a victim of these. So these things that we've been engaging and these things that we have been using it, we thought that it is making our life comfortable, life becomes easier and helpful, but actually we have become a slave to this without knowing it. And with that, it's very normal that mind will be always willing to go and engage with this and engage with that, and then if you don't have that, then you feel, I am lost, lonely, alone, like that.
But that's when you go into sleep mode, Ajahn. Sleep mode and nap mode. Recharge the batteries.
You're lucky. We can go to sleep. There are so many people they can't. The moment when you are sleeping alone, they may be feeling lonely, need someone next to you, feel hug, like that. So always desire to have someone next or something that engage with it. That's why it's very important that we learn the meditation properly, and ability to use it in our day-to-day life. Like yesterday, I was talking on the way back to the center here. I was talking to my friend, and he's also a good meditator, and been practicing Vipassana meditation in Nepal regularly, and he also leads to open a new meditation sessions in different places, like just for the 1 weekend classes, like that. And 2 weeks ago, his wife died suddenly. So they all, 3 of them, went to the temple, attending a ceremony in the temple, and went back to home, and she felt unease, and she went to bed to have a rest, and then got worse. So, and he and his daughter tried to take her to the hospital, but before arriving hospital, she died. Now, after she died, he's going through a really difficult time. And yesterday he even mentioned that when he's driving to somewhere, suddenly that those thoughts comes, or those memories that she was at his back riding the bike, and then he could not drive. He just had to stop there and crying. And even when he has to talk to his friends, or friends comes to talk, or family members comes to talk to him, and he doesn't want to talk. He just want to sit quietly, just crying. So his heart was just like numbed with this sadness, and creating the stories of this or stories of that. If not, if that, why not that, like that. Now, to tell him to practice meditation was very hard. To tell him to practice meditation was very, very hard. I think about it, he has been practicing meditation for, if I remember correctly, maybe 9 years, 8 or 9 years. And he studied Buddhist studies, and he wrote his thesis on the practice of Vipassana meditation. And another the research paper that he wrote was on the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, which is speaking about the non-self, right? But when it actually happened to him, it's not easy. And when I was talking to him, I was struggling how to tell him to meditate. It took me quite a while. I wanted to tell him that you have to meditate, but I couldn't. So I walk around, and I work around in different ways. And eventually I told him that, so before that, I could not tell him that you have been studying Buddhism. You have been associating with the monks. You have been practicing Vipassana meditation. Why don't you use this one? I could not tell, right? So then I work around this way or that way, and then eventually I got this window opportunity. So I told him that all we have been learning, this Buddhism, all that we have been practicing, this meditation, this is the time. This is the time to practice. So this is the time to be mindful what's happening when you feel down, emotionally feel very, very bad. Well, now, when I told him this way, in this way, those practice of meditation, I could feel the tone, the pressure of the voice that he talked changed. Changed. Then he said that it's really good to talk someone who knows. He mentioned that. So with that, and then I began to tell him that this is the opportunity to use this mindfulness and try to be mindful of bodily sensations, because this is how he normally practice. So bodily sensations, and notice that and when you have this bodily sensations arises, what sort of feelings you're having, what sort of a breath you're taking, and then what sort of emotion you're having. And rather than going into the stories, bring that awareness back to yourself. Back to yourself, and then try to notice not only the feeling of the body, but try to notice that when you are having this emotionally feeling down, that moment, what sort of other sensations that you can notice. And rather than going into that, why she left, why she's not listened me, sort of things, rather than going on to that, just concentrate on that. So bring it back. And in the meantime, I told him that don't think that it will go away soon. Don't think that this feeling will go away soon. Don't think that this emotionally feeling down will go away soon. So I think I spoke probably over half an hour, right, Kevin? Over half an hour, so over half an hour. So, and with that, when we stopped talking, I could feel the change in him, that really he's beginning to take the practice on board and try to be mindful. But yet, this morning again, he posted something that really he was feeling down. He was feeling down. But nevertheless, it's like stepping one stone at a time. So at least I have told him to be aware of these things, and I believe that he will take on that. And also I guided him, saying that do not stay alone. Do not stay alone. Whenever you feel alone, try to notice those loneliness, and then go to the temple. And even go to attend the temple morning and evening chanting, and at the end of the chanting, just to dedicate that merit to her, for her good departure. So, like that. So that's why it's very important that we learn this meditation, and we never know when we're going to face the problems. Whenever we face the problem, then that moment we can use this. So I gave him another simile of soldiers as well. Soldiers are always training, whether there is a war or not. So they are training simply in case of war happens, then they know how to deal with the weapons and deal with to go on a war so that can be prevented. The practice of a meditation is like that too. Do not wait until we have a problem and then go to meditate, but we have to practice this regularly. So, but in his case, I mentioned to him that we have been lucky that we have been practicing it like a soldiers. So now this is the time to use it, all the tools that we have learned. With that, I hope that he will learn furthermore and use that techniques or practices and knowledge that he acquired through the practice of Vipassana meditation and study the Dhamma. He will be able to overcome this bereavement quickly. So like that. So that's why in our life, it's always good to learn this practice regularly. And we will be able to use this practice so that we won't be suffered. Not saying that you will not be suffered, but at least we know how to deal with that. So that's the basic benefit of the meditation.